percent. Okay. Before I start, clear po ba boses ko? Lahat po ba nakakarinig sa akin? May audio po ba ako? Okay. So, before we start, I would just like to remind everyone na pagtapos po nitong, may nag-a-admit. Pagtapos po nitong discussion, meron po tayong quiz, 10 items. Kaya if meron po kayong clarifications or may questions po kayo, please huwag kayong mahiyang magtanong sa chat, okay? So at least, klaro po sa atin lahat. Okay? Thank you. So I'll start na ngayon. Hello everyone, welcome. For today, we are going to talk about chemistry, all about matter, elements and compounds, and atoms and molecules. Okay? So the first one, what is matter? It is anything that has the property of occupying space and the attributes of gravity and inertia. In simple words, it is anything that occupies space and has mass. Okay, so we have a total of 4 states of matter. The first one is solids. Okay, so I'll start annotating po. So, for example, I have here a rock. Sorry for the ugly drawing. So the rock here obviously has a fixed shape and a fixed volume. Therefore, it is considered as a solid. But when it comes to liquids, as we all know, it is flowy. It is always in the form of a liquid or a fluid. Wait lang po, may nag-a-admit. All right. So, for example here, I have a cup. I have here a cup and I fill it up with water about 50 milliliters. Now, its shape is not definite because every liquid or most liquids take the shape of its container. Okay? But the volume is still fixed. Hindi siya nagbabago. For example, I have here another cup, but this time it is a bit taller than the first one. Now, I transfer the water inside here into this tall cup, and still the volume is still fixed. It is only 50 milliliters kasi wala naman tayong dinagdag. But the shape changes kasi iba yung shape or form ng container niya. Okay? Now, for gases naman, the reason why it is doesn't have any fixed shape or volume kasi its atoms are very far apart from one another. So it's very scattered. Unlike solids and liquids, napaka-compact ng solids. So it's very close to one another. And liquids are slightly far apart but not that much. So medyo pa rin sila. Dikit-dikit, unlike gases. That's why it doesn't have any fixed shape or volume. All right. So sa plasma naman, it is called as an ionized gas. We'll talk about that further or dive down deep into that mamaya-maya. All right. So I'll just clear all of this and go ahead and discuss density. So in measuring the densities of these states of matter, we have a formula that we use. Wait lang. Sorry guys, tinawag ako. Sorry. Okay, let's continue. So I have here a cube, 3 cubes, sample A, sample B, and sample C. So let's go ahead and discuss this first. This is how you compute the density. Okay, so This is the formula in computing the density. D is equals to mass over volume. Right? Remember that. Alright? So dito, ang value ng M natin is 200 grams. We will be going to discuss sample A first. Okay? Tapos yung volume naman, in order for you, oops, may nag-admit. In order for you to know the volume of the cube, you need to multiply the length, width, and height of the cube. So 5 times 5 is equals to 25 times 4 is equals to 100. Okay? Cubic meter. Ayan yung standard units ng volume and mass natin in measuring density. Okay? Now that we have our variables or values, let's just plug it in our formula. So ang mass natin is 200 divided by 100 will give us 1 gram, 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Ayan, ito yung yung unit na ginagamit sa density. Okay? Now let's go on and solve sample B. Okay, so ganun pa rin yung formula and yung mass lang yung nagbago and yung volume. So ang mass natin dito is 100 grams and yung volume natin is 5 times 5 is 25 times 2 is 50. 50 cubic centimeters. So that is going to be 100 over 50, which is equals to also 1 gram per cubic centimeters. Oops. Cubic centimeters, like that. And let's go to sample C. Okay. So dito naman, mass natin is 50 grams. Then yung volume natin is 25. 25 cubic centimeters. Ay, yeah. Okay. So T is equals to 50 over, tama ba? Oh, tama. 50 over 25. And the answer will be 1 gram per cubic centimeters. So, mamaya, sasagutin ko kung bakit lahat sila 1 gram lang. Okay? So, let's go ahead and solve muna the liquids. So, saan ko ito lalagay? O sige nga, dito na lang. Yan. So, next naman is yung liquids. Let's go to liquids. Now, in order for you to know the mass or the value of your mass na ipuput natin dito sa formula natin, you have to weigh the mass of the graduated cylinder with water and the mass of the empty graduated cylinder. So, ang material na gagamitin natin dito is a graduated cylinder. Sorry. Now, once you have that, once you have those numbers, you will subtract them both and you will get the mass of the water. Okay? So, we will have this table right here. And in measuring your volume, you just need to fill the graduated cylinder in your desired line. So, dito sa picture na to, it is 100. So, we have 100 milliliters of water. Okay? So, now, let's go ahead and solve that. Ganun pa rin yung formula, D equals M over V. Then, according to this table, yung volume, kung nakikita nyo, yun dito sa baba, yung volume niya is 25. Okay, so let's input that. Yung volume niya is 25 milliliters. As you can see here, gawin natin capital to. Yan. So, tapos yung mass naman is also 25. Okay? So, that is 25 grams. Now, we're just going to divide both of that, and obviously the answer is also 1 gram per cubic centimeters. Also, I forgot to mention, in measuring the density of a liquid, it is temperature dependable. So, depende siya sa temperature ng water. Pero, kunyari, pag nagbago yung yung temperature ng water, iba na yung density niya. Pero this chart is based on water at 25 degrees. Okay, so it varies on the temperature of the water or the liquid. Okay, so the question is, bakit sila magkakaparehas? It's because solids and liquids are mostly homogeneous mixtures. Sorry. Homogeneous meaning they are alike. Alright? So, yung mga components or yung composition ng solids and liquids, magkakaparehas lang all throughout. Okay? So, sa water, lahat, yung buong water na yon or yung whole water is homogeneous. So, wala siyang halong iba. So, pag binawasan mo siya ng volume, kunyari, itong 100 milliliters, ginawa mo lang 90. Siyempre, bababa din yung mass nun. Bababa din yung bigat niya. So, domino effect. Pag pag ginawa mo yun, hindi pa rin magbabago yung density niya. Ganun pa rin siya ka-compact or ganun pa rin yung density niya. Hindi siya magbabago. Same as solids. Pag binawasan mo yung cube, parang kanina, let me show you guys. Oops. Yan. Yung cube, binabawasan lang natin siya ng mass. Ay, ng volume and mass. So, kahit gawin mo yon, ganun pa rin yung density na nakukuha natin. It is always 1 gram per cubic centimeters. Although, hindi ganyan yung density ng lahat ng solids. Dito lang sa cube na to, yung 1 gram per cubic centimeters. There are also a lot of, it can vary according to the type of solid or liquid that you are measuring or computing the density. Okay? So, always remember that the formula for finding the density of a solid and a liquid is D is equals to mass over volume. Alright? Sa gases naman, iba siya. So, sorry, let's clear this muna para di kayo malito. Okay. Sa gases kasi, kaya hindi ko siya include kasi this is another lesson. This is all about molar masses and molar volumes. So that is another topic na i-discuss natin. But not today kasi onti lang yung time natin. Baka hindi siya mag-fit sa 40 minutes. But don't worry, we'll get back to that. Alright? Okay. So let's go to the next slide, which is changes in matter. All right, so we have two types of changes in matter, physical and chemical. Pag physical, it is characterized by a change in the phase or state of a substance. Okay, so for example, a paper. Pag kinot mo siya, hindi magbabago yung chemical composition niya. It just changes in size and shape. Okay? Pag chemical change naman, it is characterized by a change in composition of its molecule changes. Ang example niyan is, naalala ko na may nagtanong sa GC natin about a pearl and the vinegar. So, kala niya nagme-melt yung pearl sa vinegar, but in reality, it's not. Yung components or one of the components of the pearl, which is calcium carbonate, tapos yung isang component ng vinegar, which is acetic acid, silang dalawa yung nagre-react together. So, in that reaction, nagpo-form sila ng another substance called calcium acetate. Alright? So, as you can see here, ayan o, the properties of the original substance are lost and new substances with new properties are produced. So, katulad nga ng sinabi ko, they produce a new substance called calcium acetate. So, that is a form of chemical change. It doesn't melt. That melting kasi is under physical change, diba? Like water and ice. So, it's still water, but it just changes form. Okay? Pero yung sa case ng pearl, hindi na siya pearl. They make a new substance. They make a new substance called the calcium acetate. Kaya it falls under chemical changes. Okay? Next. Ito naman tayo, the phase changes of matter. Now, we have two types of phase changes. Okay? I'm gonna write it down here. We have endothermic, which includes sublimation, evaporation, and melting. I know. Ay, oo, tama. Tama, diba? So, and also exothermic. Yeah. Exothermic includes freezing, condensation, and deposition. Okay? So, what is endothermic and exothermic? Endothermic is the absorption of heat. Exothermic is the releasing of heat. Okay? That's the basic explanation for that. So, endo meaning absorption of heat. Exo meaning releasing of heat. Okay? So, ayan yung mga under endothermic and exothermic. Okay? So, remember that. Next naman, di ba we have 4 states of matter, which is, the fourth one is plasma. It is called as an ionized gas, di ba? So, sa plasma naman, sa plasma, it also undergoes changes. So, from gas to plasma, it is called ionization. Pag plasma to gas naman, it is called recombination. Now, what happens to gas? What happens between the gas and the plasma? So, when gas is exposed to extreme heat, yung electrons, humihiwalay siya sa atom. Okay? So, yun nga, humihiwalay yung electron sa atom. So, it becomes an ionized gas. So, nagiging ion na lang yung atoms na yun kasi wala siyang electron. Okay? Pag naman, when the plasma and gas undergoes recombination, yung electron bumabalik doon sa atom. So, yung talaga, yung galing talaga sa word, recombination ulit. It's recombining together. So from ionization, it recombines to a whole atom. Okay? So to sum that up, pag gas to plasma, humihiwala yung electrons sa atom. Pag recombination, bumabalik yung electron dun sa atom. Okay, clear ba sa lahat yan? Pag ionization, humihiwala yung electrons sa atom. Pag recombination, bumabalik yung electron sa atom. Tama ba? Okay. Yan. Okay? So, that is the phase changes of matter. All right. Let's go to the next one, which are the elements and compounds. So, we're just going to differentiate that. Elements are those that are found in our periodic table. So, they are simpler substances by ordinary means. So, it occurs naturally. Okay? Like, nandyan na talaga siya. Okay? Compounds are substances in which 2 or more elements join by chemical bonds. So, compounds are a combination of elements. Okay? Next. We'll go to atoms and molecules. Okay, so an atom is the smallest unit of an element, and a molecule is the smallest unit of a compound. So atom sa element, molecule sa compound. Okay, so let's go to the subatomic particles. So we have these and also this ones. So the nucleus is the middle part, the center of the atom. And inside the nucleus, there is the proton and the neutron. Protons are positively charged. Neutrons are neutrally charged. And electrons are negatively charged. Okay? So dito naman, ito yung nakikita natin sa mga periodic table. Mass number is the number of protons and neutrons. Atomic number is the number of protons. Atomic mass is the weight, the mass of the whole atom. Sorry. Now, don't get this confused with atomic weight. Ang atomic weight is iba. Atomic weight is the weighted average of the naturally occurring isotopes of the atom or the element. Okay, so I'll write it down here. Atomic weight is the weighted average of the naturally occurring isotopes. Yan. So what are isotopes? Ayun yung mga atoms na iba-iba yung number ng neutrons nila. Pare-parehas sila ng numbers ng protons, pero yung neutrons nila iba, magkakaiba. So those are isotopes. Okay? And also, the symbol of the element is this. So NaFe, H, He, yun yung mga symbols ng elements natin. Okay? So I'll repeat it again. Mass number, 10 minutes na lang. Mass number sa protons and neutrons, atomic number sa protons. Sa atomic mass naman, yung mass ng buong atom, symbol of the element. Tapos yung atomic weight, all about the isotopes. Okay? Next. Okay. Next naman tayo, which is the last one, the models of the atom. So, madaming models ng atom. There are Bohr's, Rutherford's, John Dalton's, Aristotle's. Basta madami siya. And I have a separate PowerPoint for that. If you guys want, I'll send it to the GC after the Thursday session. Okay? That is also in full detail. Ito kasi parang brief introduction lang siya. Okay? Pero doon, dinetail ko talaga yung mga, yung every model and every scientist na kinreate yun. Okay? So we're just going to talk about 3 today. The Rutherford model. Ito, this states or this shows that the electrons move around the nucleus like the solar system. So Rutherford states that it is mostly empty space. The atom is mostly empty space. Ayun yung theory niya about the structure of the atom. Pag kay Bohr naman, yung mga electrons nag-move around din sa nucleus but in a fixed energy level. So lahat ng electrons daw, it has a fixed energy level. And yun yung explanation niya kung bakit stable yung atom. It explains the stability of the atom. Okay? Dito naman sa Schrödinger model, this was developed by, I think, the name was Erwin Schrödinger. Tapos, may nag-admit. Oh my gosh, patapos na tayo, bes. Sorry. Oops. Okay. So, the Schrödinger model states that yung electrons, they are not subatomic particles, but waves. Okay, according to Schrödinger, hindi siya subatomic particles, waves siya. Okay? So, ayun na yun. That is our discussion. Okay, so quiz na tayo, guys. So, first question, yeah. This is question number 1 to 4. Also, feel free to pause the video if hindi pa kayo tapos sa questions ito. Okay? Next, question 5 to 8. All right, next. Questions 9 to 10. Okay, let's go to the answer key na. Okay, so question number 1. The formula for density is T is equals to M over V. Okay, question number 2. Planck's model shows that an atom is mostly empty space with electrons orbiting the nucleus. It is Rutherford's. Next, these are considered as endothermic processes. It is A. Sublimation, melting, and evaporation. So endo meaning the the absorption of heat. Okay? Next, blank are substance in which two or more elements joined by chemical bonds. It is compounds. See, two or more elements. Okay? Next, which of the following is not a chemical reaction or change? It is the freezing of carbon dioxide. Kasi, fini-freeze niya lang yung carbon dioxide. It doesn't, hindi niya siya kino-convert into another, uh, ano yun? Compound or mixture. Carbon dioxide lang siya, nothing raise. Okay? Next, unlike burning paper, di ba? It turns to ash. It's no longer a paper. So, ganun din sa rusting of metal and ripening of fruit. Okay? Next, which of the following is true about subatomic particles, mass number, and atomic number? It is letter C. Atomic number is equal to the number of protons. Tinam niyo A. Mass number is equal to the number of neutrons, but it has to have the number of protons as well. Dito naman, protons plus electron is equal to the mass number. It's not electrons, rather neutrons. Okay, neutrons number can be calculated given only the mass number. It cannot. Okay, so ang answer dyan is letter C. Okay, next, question number 7 is of course isotopes. Different number of neutrons. Ayun yung key doon. Next, random movement of particles is least observable, in what phase of matter? It is solid. So, I think wala talagang movement sa solid kasi compact na compact talaga yung particles niya. Okay? Next, question number 9. This phase of matter has no definite shape and volume, but is highly compressible. It is gas. Next, blank is a process by which positive ions of a plasma capture a free energetic electron and combine with electrons or negative ions to form new neutral atoms. It is recombination. Yan o. So parang bumabalik yung electron doon sa positive ions, creating new neutral atoms. Okay? So, that's it. So, sino naka-perfect? Taas kamay. So, lesson natin next week is all about physics, vectors and scalars, kinetics, and dynamics. So, ayun lang yung for today. Sana may natutunan kayo. And if meron pa kayong questions or hindi pa masyadong klaro sa inyo, you can join our meeting again tomorrow. Okay? Yun, galing. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for joining our meeting for today. Okay? Thank you, guys.